This is Gardening 101, the series where you're going to learn how to start a garden this season, no excuses. And we're interrupting our regularly scheduled programming for a quick layout lesson. Because so many of you have been interested in starting your garden, but you only have a very small space to work with. So I'm going to give you 2 examples of a 2x3 garden space and what exactly you can do this year in your own garden. So let's start with a 2x3 raised bed. So first we're going to plant onions and nasturtium as companions on the outskirts of the bed. Peas, lettuce, and carrots will be planted as well as potatoes for a cool season crop. Peas are going to be grown on a trellis. As the season change, we'll succession sow pole beans, indeterminate tomatoes, and cucumbers on the trellis. After harvesting potatoes, we'll plant squash and a pepper plant. Bush beans can be planted as onions are harvested. Seasons will change again, and it's time to plant for the fall. Here, we're going to remove our cucumber and tomato plants early and replace with brassicas, root crops like carrots and radishes, and after frost, we can place our garlic. Now let's see what we can do in the same space in an original greenstalk planter. The greenstalk vertical planter is a 5-tier vertical gardening system with 2 square foot footprint. For our early spring garden, we'll plant onion, nasturtium, and lettuce on the first tier, carrots and peas on the second tier, leaving space for early tomato plantings. The third tier will be for quick harvesting crops like radishes. Our fourth tier will grow brassicas and dill, and we'll put potatoes on the bottom. After our frost date, we'll transplant tomatoes. We'll replace lettuce with heat-tolerant greens, plant peppers to replace radishes, and place sweet potatoes, squash, and cucumbers to replace brassicas and white potatoes after their harvest. Once peas and carrots are cleared, we can add more tomatoes and marigolds as companions. Beans can also be planted as replacements throughout the season. As you can see, whether you use a raised bed with square foot gardening and succession sowing or a vertical planter, you can do a ton in a very small space.